Before I begin, I just want to make it clear that Gundam is not Transformers. Animator Yoshiyuki Tomino had an idea back in the 80s for an animated TV series about what he called Freedom Fighter Gunboy, later called Mobile Suit Gundam. Basically a tank with legs. The show was cancelled after 3 seasons, but survived thanks to syndication. Licensing partner Bandai made toys based on the show's characters, and it was the toys that inspired the Transformers, and those characters were actually toys before they were a TV series. Now, I decided to see Transformers Age of Extinction in IMAX 3D, because why not? Michael Bay did a good job capturing the action in digital IMAX format. I think for the better, because I may not have enjoyed this movie as much seeing it in standard format. One thing that is interesting about Michael Bay's style, even though it might be a bit obnoxious at times, is it is not hard to visualize how his scenes play out in real life, even after watching his movies. Bear with me on this, because he may have a goofy, even awkward style as an action director, but the scenes he puts together are applicable to what we see happening around us, on some level. After I watched Transformers, and I mean any one of his Transformers movies, it is not hard for me to visualize a car passing by and watch it transform in front of my eyes. One might say it's just my imagination. Having said that, with Michael Bay, nothing is subtle. For years, he's given us products that are no doubt entertaining, but also still a bit embarrassing. Every point he makes has to be right in front of you and demands your full attention. Brands that may or may not include My Little Pony are front and center, even if it seems like they shouldn't be. 3D characters that appear massive on screen have to bumble around in massively awkward ways just so Michael Bay can get as many explosions in his picture as possible. As fun as this is to watch, depending on who you are, I can't help but ask anytime I watch his movies, so what's your point? His point is product placement. Those explosions are there to grab your attention and to keep it fast, to get your attention, to get it fast, and to hold on to it. And if Michael Bay wants as big a return as possible, he knows how to cash in. Panty shot with Nicola Peltz, anyone? Strangely enough, that was a little bit subtle. Believe it or not, there actually is substance in this movie. But then again, it's not uncommon anymore for commercials to have a little bit of story in them. Kelsey Grammer, I bet you didn't see him coming, has partnered himself with one of the robots, Lockdown, and an inventor who likes to think of himself as a genius, Stanley Tucci. Tucci has developed a company that makes the hottest cars that transform into the hottest robots. Why is he doing this? He has been paid by the government to make remote control transformers that will help Americans stop any further war with machines. Not knowing that he's basically recreated the robots we've seen 3 previous times. He's just given the robots, the Decepticons, the Autobots' old enemies, new lives and new faces. It's actually pretty cool how this worked out. Lockdown is a loose cannon, and perhaps the first and only robot in this franchise worth caring about, aside from maybe Optimus Prime. Lockdown is the bounty hunter on the hunt for Autobots, which means the hero robots are in danger. On the hunt for Optimus Prime, the hero of the franchise, who's still neither a bit part nor a supporting character. 4 movies in now, and we still don't have a satisfying show that focuses on the robots that make these movies famous? Lockdown turns up on a freeway in Texas and takes Optimus Prime down in style. Basically a walking gun. He transforms his head into a giant laser-guided shotgun and BOOM! Sends a bullet right through Optimus Prime. Mark Wahlberg plays the unsuccessful inventor who will invest in junk in hopes of making a few $1 billion out of his work. Nicola Peltz plays his young, rebellious teenager who lacks her father's foresight and vision, making her the typical but incredibly hot young girl in the show who cares about school only enough to graduate and move on with her life. T.J. Miller is only memorable enough as the annoying sidekick whom you only laugh enough at at him for like 5, maybe 10 minutes before he's offed near the beginning of the movie. Kudos has to be given to Aaron Kruger, the writer for the movie, because even with all that's happening in this movie, there's still enough room to bring out the Dinobots. Those dinosaur-shaped robots we've been promised in the trailers. Watch them transform from robot mode to dinosaur mode, which I actually thought was entertaining and fun to look at. And watch the Autobots hop on the Dinobots and ride to victory against the Decepticons. Yeehaw! Or meh, depending on your preference. I give Transformers Age of Extinction 3.5 out of 5 stars. Kelsey Grammer and Stanley Tucci, thankfully, aren't just in the picture to make it look more interesting. And Mark Wahlberg and Nicola Peltz deliver satisfying performances on the silver screen, so they're not just, pretty faces for you to look at. Maybe after seeing this movie, we'll be driving cars with Goodyear tires up to our favorite toy store to get a collection of Hasbro and My Little Pony toys, while listening to music blaring out of Beats Pills and drinking bottles of Bud Light with our favorite lingerie models. Thank you for your time. Have an awesome day.